We live in a world that constantly pulls at our attention. Every time you try to study, work, or even relax, a notification, a message, or a new video appears and takes your focus away. You sit down to do something important, but before you know it, you've lost an hour scrolling through things that don't really matter. This book is about taking back control. Attention is the most valuable thing you have. It shapes your learning, your relationships, your career, and your future. If you can control your focus, you can control your life. But if you let distractions control you, you'll always feel busy but never truly fulfilled. In the pages ahead, you'll discover why focus feels so hard today, how your brain is being hijacked by modern technology, and most importantly, how you can train your mind to concentrate again. You'll learn simple steps to protect your time, build habits of deep work, and direct your attention toward the goals and people that truly matter. This is not about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about finding peace in a noisy world, so you can create, grow, and live with clarity. By the end of this book, you will not just avoid distraction. You will reclaim your attention and use it to build the life you want. Chapter 1, The Attention Crisis. I'm so glad you're here. I want you to take a quick second and just notice something. Where's your phone right now? Is it in your hand? Is it next to you? Screen down maybe? Is it in your pocket? Just notice it. Don't judge, just notice. That little device and the whole world of the internet it connects to is the reason we're talking today. Because if you ever felt like it's hard to focus, if you ever picked up your phone to check the time and suddenly found yourself 10 minutes later watching a video about something you didn't even care about, if you've ever sat down to read a book or do your work and felt this weird, itchy feeling that you should be checking something, anything online, then you are not alone. You are living in the middle of what we can only call an attention crisis. And this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to understand what's happening to our minds, and more importantly, we're going to start thinking about how we can fight back, how you can reclaim your most precious resource, your attention. So, let's get comfortable. Let's breathe. This isn't about feeling guilty. This is about understanding and then taking your power back. Think of your attention like a spotlight, a strong, powerful beam of light. When you control that spotlight, you can shine it on exactly what you want. You can read a book and the words are bright and clear. You can have a conversation with a friend and you are totally there with them. You can work on a project and you get into that amazing flow state where time just disappears. You are in charge. But what's happening now? It's like 1,000 little hands have appeared and are all trying to grab your spotlight, pulling it in different directions. A ping from a message, a pop-up notification, a red number over an app icon, a feeling of boredom that makes you just reach for your phone without even thinking. Ding! The spotlight swings over to the notification. Buzz! The spotlight swings over to the text message. Scroll, scroll, scroll. The spotlight is now shaking wildly, jumping from a picture of friend vacation to a news headline to a funny meme. Before you know it, your powerful, single spotlight is broken. It's shattered into 100 tiny little dots of light, flickering on all these different screens and distractions. And you're left feeling tired, drained, and like you haven't really focused on anything at all. Does that feeling sound familiar? This isn't an accident. Those apps and websites on your phone are designed by some of the smartest people in the world, and their job isn't to help you focus. Their job is to keep you scrolling. Their job is to grab your attention and hold on to it for as long as possible. They use colors, sounds, and rewards like a like or a comment to keep you coming back. It's like a slot machine. You never know when you'll get a rewarding piece of content. So you just keep pulling the lever, hoping for the next win. And our brains, which evolved over thousands of years, just aren't ready for this. We're wired to notice new things. It's a survival instinct. A sudden movement or a new sound could have meant danger or food. So today, a new notification tricks that old part of our brain into thinking, ooh, something important. Look, but it's almost never important, is it? It's just another pull on your spotlight. This is why it feels so hard to just sit still, to read a book, to work on one thing for an hour without interruption. It's because your brain is getting used to the constant switching. It's getting a tiny hit of a chemical called dopamine every time it finds something new. And sitting quietly with a book doesn't give you that same constant, frantic hit. So your brain goes, "This is boring. Where's the new stuff?" Check the phone. Check it. But here's the most important thing I want you to hear today. This is not your fault. Let me say that again. The fact that you struggle to focus is not a personal failing. It is not a sign that you are lazy or have a weak will. You are not broken. You are human. And you are being pulled in a million directions by technology that is designed to do exactly that. You are in a tug of war, and until now, you might not have even known you were playing. You've been trying to hold on to your focus while a giant team of designers and algorithms is pulling on the other end of the rope. Of course you feel tired. Of course you feel like your focus is in pieces. But knowing this, that is your power. When you understand the game, you can start to play it differently. You can even decide to stop playing their game altogether and start playing your own. Your mind is not meant to be a crowded, noisy, chaotic room where everyone is shouting for your attention. It is meant to be your own beautiful, peaceful garden, a place where you can choose what to plant, what to grow, and what to nurture. Right now, that garden might be full of weeds and noise from all the notifications and distractions, but you are the gardener. You have the tools to clear those weeds out. You have the power to put up a fence and decide what gets to come in. Reclaiming your attention is about rebuilding that fence. It's about gently taking back control of your spotlight and learning how to shine it on what truly matters to you, not to the app developers, not to the advertisers, to you. What would it feel like to read a book and get completely lost in the story without that itchy feeling? What would it feel like to have a meal with someone you love and be completely present with them, instead of having your phone on the table? What would it feel like to finish your work and feel proud and satisfied instead of fragmented and distracted? That feeling is possible. It is your birthright. That deep, calm, powerful focus is still inside you. It's just been covered up by layers of distraction. Our job together is to peel those layers back. So for the rest of our time, I want you to just think about one thing. I want you to think about what you've been missing when your attention is pulled away. What is that one thing you wish you could focus on more? Maybe it's your hobby. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's just a moment of quiet for yourself. Hold on to that thought. That is your why. That is the reason we do this hard work. We aren't just putting our phones down to be more productive. We are doing it to reconnect with ourselves, to reconnect with the people we love, to reclaim the quiet, happy moments that make life worth living. Your attention is the key to your life. It's time to take it back. So, we've named the problem and called it the attention crisis, and we've talked about that spotlight of focus being pulled in 1,000 directions, all while agreeing that this isn't your fault. Now, we move from understanding to action, from feeling powerless to feeling powerful, which is where we start to become the gardener of our own mind again. If your attention is a muscle, and it absolutely is, then it's been getting the wrong kind of workout, doing frantic, jerky, stressful exercises all day long, which is exactly why it feels so tired and weak when you ask it to do something calm and steady, like reading a book. What we need to do is start retraining that muscle by giving it the right kind of workout. And just like in the gym, we start small, not by trying to lift the heaviest weight on the first day, but with something light and achievable. I want you to think of this not as a set of strict rules, but as attention training, a practice you get to engage in every single day. Let's start with one of the biggest thieves of your attention, your phone, specifically the notifications, those little pings and buzzes that are like someone constantly tapping you on the shoulder while you're trying to work. Something you wouldn't let a stranger do in real life, so why let your phone do it? Here's your first tiny mission, and it's a powerful one. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Right now. In your mind, make a plan to do this after we finish. And think about what notifications you truly need, like a phone call from your family or a text from your best friend, which is probably it. You do not need to know every time an email arrives or a news app has a story, as these are not alerts but interruptions. The little hands trying to grab your spotlight. By turning them off, you're not missing out but choosing to be in control, deciding when to look at your phone instead of letting your phone decide for you, which is like building a first, strong fence around your garden. Now, let's talk about another big one, The endless scroll of social media, news feeds, and video apps, which are designed to be bottomless, with no finish line, so you can never win or complete scrolling, because it's designed to keep you going forever. The way we fight a bottomless pit is by giving it a bottom, by creating a finish line with a tool called a timer, which is simple but works magic. If you want to check social media, that's okay. But before you open the app, set a timer for 5 or 10 minutes. Decide on a time and stick to it. So when the timer goes off, you stop, close the app, and take a breath, having just taken control by enjoying it for a few minutes without falling into the endless void, which is a huge victory of you, telling the algorithm, you don't control me. Now, let's talk about your environment, as your physical space has a huge effect on your focus. If you try to work on an important project in the middle of a noisy coffee shop, it's hard because there are distractions everywhere, and your phone is like that noisy coffee shop, a place packed with potential distractions. This means that when you need to focus to read that book or work on that project, you need to create a quiet space for your mind by putting your phone in another room, not on the desk face down or in your pocket, but in another room, out of sight and out of mind. Which sounds simple but is powerfully effective, because when the phone isn't there, that itchy feeling to check will arise. But instead of giving in, you'll have a precious pause to notice the feeling, let it pass, and return to your book, rewiring your brain and strengthening your focus muscle each time. Finally, I want to talk about the most beautiful part of this practice, single tasking, because we have been tricked into believing multitasking is a superpower when it's actually a super weakness that means doing two things poorly by switching your spotlight rapidly and wasting energy. Single tasking is the ultimate act of rebellion, a way of saying, this one thing deserves my full attention right now. So practice it by just drinking your coffee and feeling the warmth, just walking and noticing the sky, or just working on one thing with all other tabs closed, which will feel strange at first, but is not slow as your deep work, focus, and connection are what give our lives meaning. Remember, this is a practice where some days will be better than others. Some days you'll stick to the timer perfectly, and other days you'll fall down a rabbit hole. But that's okay, because the goal is not perfection but awareness, gently and kindly guiding your attention back over and over again. You are not fighting a war but tending a garden. So be a gentle gardener, patient and consistent, knowing your beautiful focus is still there, waiting to grow, and it's time to give it the space it needs. Building on the idea of single tasking and creating a quiet space for your mind, it's important to recognize that this practice is like building a new habit, and all new habits are built on a foundation of repetition, and most importantly, self-compassion. There will be moments when you forget, when you automatically reach for your phone the second a thought arises, and in that moment, the most powerful thing you can do is not to criticize yourself, but to simply notice what happened without judgment and gently guide your attention back. This act of noticing and returning is, in itself, the repetition that strengthens your mental muscle. This gentle return to your focus is where the real magic happens, because you're fundamentally changing your relationship with distraction, learning that you are not a slave to every impulse, but the conscious director of your own experience. As you practice this, you might start to notice small pockets of time throughout your day that are perfect for mini focus sessions, like waiting in line at the grocery store or sitting in a waiting room. These moments don't have to be filled with scrolling, but can become opportunities for a few deep breaths, for noticing the world around you, or for simply existing without any input, which can feel strangely luxurious and deeply calming in our overstimulated world. These small moments of chosen focus accumulate into a greater sense of agency, and with that agency, you can begin to be more intentional about how you use technology, shifting from a mindset of checking to a mindset of engaging with purpose. This means you might decide, I will open my email at 10 a.m. to process my messages, rather than leaving your inbox open all day as a constant source of interruption. And this scheduled engagement transforms the tool from a master that demands your attention into a servant that waits for your command. This purposeful engagement naturally extends to social media and entertainment, where you can move from passive, endless consumption to active, time consumption, asking yourself before you open an app, what is my intention here? Even if the answer is simply to relax and watch funny videos for 10 minutes, because by setting that intention, you are making a conscious choice, which is the absolute core of reclaiming your attention and your time from the forces that vie for it. Chapter 2, The Cost of Distraction. Because being distracted isn't just about losing a few minutes scrolling on your phone. It's so much deeper than that. It's like a slow leak in a pipe behind a wall. You don't see it at first. You might not even hear it. But over time, the damage builds up. The structure weakens. And one day, you realize there's a real problem that needs fixing. That's what distraction does to our minds, to our work, and to our lives. Let's start with your work, with the things you create. When you are constantly interrupted, the quality of your work goes down. It's a simple fact. Think about trying to write an email while someone is talking to you. You might get the email done, but it probably won't be your best work. You might make a mistake, forget to add something important, or the tone might be off. Now, imagine that same fractured attention applied to everything you do, your job, your hobbies, your projects. When your focus is broken into little pieces, your work gets broken into little pieces too. It becomes shallow because you never give yourself the deep, uninterrupted time to really think, to really dive in and do something amazing. You are capable of incredible, deep work, but distraction keeps you stuck in the shallow end. And it's not just the quality of our work that suffers. It's our ability to remember things. Our memory is like a path in a field. The more you walk down that path, the clearer it becomes. Every time you focus deeply on something, you are walking down that path, making the memory strong and clear. But distraction wipes that path away. It's like a fog rolls in, and you can't see the way anymore. When you are only half paying attention, your brain doesn't bother to say the information properly. It says, well, this doesn't seem that important, and it lets it go. This is why you can read a whole page in a book and then realize you have no idea what you just read. Your eyes saw the words, but your mind was elsewhere. This is why you might forget a name seconds after hearing it. Distraction steals our memories before they even have a chance to form. And perhaps the most precious thing that distraction steals from us is our creativity. Creativity isn't something that happens on demand. It's a quiet, shy thing. It comes in moments of quiet focus, in the space between thoughts. It comes when you're staring out a window, lost in thought, or going for a walk without your headphones. But if every quiet moment is instantly filled with pulling out your phone, with checking for new content, with seeking another hit of noise, you are chasing creativity away. You are never giving your brilliant, creative mind the empty space it needs to play, to connect ideas in new ways, to come up with a solution you've been searching for. The constant buzz of distraction is the enemy of the quiet whisper of a new idea. But the cost goes even deeper than our work and our ideas. It hits us right where we live, in our relationships. Think about the last time you were talking to someone you love, but you had your phone in your hand. Maybe you were making eye contact, but part of your brain was waiting for a notification. You were only half listening. The person talking to you can feel that. They can feel that they don't have your full spotlight. And it tells them, even without words, that whatever's on that screen might be more important than they are. Every time we do this, we are weakening our connection. We are building a wall between us and the people we care about most, and we're building it one brick at a time with every distracted conversation. We are trading deep connection for shallow updates. And all of this, the lower quality work, the weaker memory, the stifled creativity, the strained relationships, it all adds up to one final, huge cost. It steals our happiness. It makes us feel busy but not fulfilled. It makes us feel connected online but lonely inside. It fills our days with activity but leaves us feeling empty. We look back on our week and wonder what we actually did, what we actually accomplished, what beautiful moments we actually enjoyed without a screen in the way. This feeling of emptiness, of time slipping through our fingers, is a true cause of distraction crisis. It's not just stealing our time, it's stealing the joy and meaning from that time. But here is the powerful part of this story. Now that you know the cost, you can stop paying the price. Every time you choose to put your phone away, you aren't just avoiding distraction. You are choosing higher quality work. You are choosing to form a stronger memory. You are inviting your creativity to come out and play. You are giving a gift of your full attention to someone you love. And that gift is the most valuable thing you can give in this distracted world. You are choosing a happier, more meaningful life. This isn't about perfection. It's about intention. It's about seeing that slow leak and deciding to fix it. It's about realizing that your attention is the currency of your life. You can spend it on things that don't matter, or you can invest it in what truly does. You have the power to stop the drain. You have the power to reclaim not just your time, but the quality of your work, the strength of your memory, your incredible creativity, your deep relationships, and your own happiness. The cost of distraction is high, but the value of your focus is priceless. Understanding the true cost of distraction is the fuel for our journey. It's the powerful why that makes all the effort worthwhile. Because when we see clearly what we're losing, the depth of our work, the clarity of our memories, the spark of our creativity, the warmth of our relationships, and our very happiness, it suddenly becomes so much easier to make a different choice, to choose to protect our attention, because we know exactly what is at stake. This isn't about fear or guilt. It's about love and respect for your own potential and for people in your life. It's about finally seeing that every time you resist a pull of distraction, you aren't missing out on something trivial online. You are actively choosing to invest in something profound and real in your own life. Let's take a closer look at how this plays out in a very ordinary day, because the cost of distraction isn't just one big dramatic event. It's 1,000 small cuts that happen from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, started with the instinct to reach for our phone first thing in the morning, which immediately hand the reins of our mindset and our focus over to the outside world, to the news, to other people's updates, to a list of demands, before we've even had a chance to decide for ourselves what kind of day we want to have, or what our own priorities are. This constant switching throughout the day, from a work task to a notification and back again, creates a heavy mental burden that we often don't even feel until we're completely exhausted by the afternoon. This is because our brains aren't built for this kind of jarring transition, and each switch uses up a little bit of our precious mental energy, leaving us feeling drained and tired even if we've been sitting at a desk all day, not from physical labor, but from the exhausting cognitive toll of trying to focus amidst a storm of interruptions. And this fractured focus doesn't just make us tired. It makes us feel behind, like we're constantly playing catch-up, which creates a low-level hum of anxiety that follows us around, a feeling that we should always be doing more, checking more, responding faster, which pushes us further into the distraction cycle in a desperate attempt to feel on top of things, only to find that the more we try to do at once, the less we actually accomplish, and the more anxious we feel. This is a cruel trick distraction plays on us. It promises efficiency but delivers chaos. It promises connection but delivers loneliness. It promises a break but delivers more exhaustion. But the most important thing to remember as we see this cycle so clearly is that you are not stuck in it. Seeing the pattern is the first and most powerful step to breaking it. And every single time you consciously decide to do one thing at a time, you are weakening the pattern and strengthening yourself. When you feel that urge to pick up your phone out of habit, and you pause for just 3 seconds to ask yourself, what for? You are breaking the automatic cycle and inserting your own choice, your own will into the driver's seat, and that moment of pause, no matter how small, is a monumental victory. Every time you choose to have a conversation with your phone in another room, you're not just avoiding distraction. You're sending a powerful message to the person in front of you and to your own brain that says, you're the most important thing right now. And that act of deep, respectful attention is a rare and beautiful gift in this world that strengthens your relationships and fills your own cup with a sense of connection that superficial scrolling can never provide. Reclaiming your attention from these constant distractions is, therefore, not an act of deprivation. It is the ultimate act of creation. You're creating conditions for better work to emerge. You're creating the space for stronger memories to form. You're creating the quiet necessary for creativity to whisper its ideas to you. And you are creating the genuine, heartfelt connections that form the foundation of a happy and meaningful life. You are not just getting your time back. You are upgrading the quality of your entire existence, moment by moment, choice by choice, and that is a journey worth taking. Think about the last time you were in the middle of a task, maybe writing an email or try to figure out a problem, and that feeling of restlessness crept in, almost without thinking. Your hand reached for your phone, just for a quick break, a tiny hit of something new. But that quick break is like pouring sugar into the gas tank of your focus. It might feel good for a second, but it completely gums up the engine of deep thought. And when you try to return to your task, you're left staring at the screen, wondering where your train of thought went, spending precious minutes just trying to remember what you were doing, which is time and mental energy you can never get back. Or consider a moment you almost certainly experienced. You're reading a book, and your eyes are moving across the words, but your mind is already 3 steps ahead, planning dinner or worrying about a meeting tomorrow. You finish a whole page and suddenly realize you have no idea what you just read. Your eyes saw the words, but your brain was somewhere else entirely. That's the cost, not just the lost time, but the lost story, the lost knowledge, the lost opportunity to get truly lost in a good book, which is one of life's great simple joys. Now, let's bring it closer to home, to the people we love. Imagine you're sitting with your child, and they're telling you a long, detailed story about something that happened at school. Their eyes are bright. Their hands are moving. They are fully sharing their world with you. But your phone buzzes on the couch beside you. Your eyes flicker down for just a second to see who it is. It's a reflex. But in that split second, you miss the climax of their story. You miss the proud look on their face. And they saw your eyes drift away. The message you unintentionally sent was, something on that screen might be more important than you right now. That's the hidden cost. Not a huge fight, just a tiny crack in connection. One of many small cracks that can, over time, create distance. But here's the beautiful and hopeful flip side. Every single one of these moments is also an opportunity for a different choice, a chance to reclaim what matters. That moment of restlessness during your work, instead of reaching for phone, you could take just one deep breath. You could stand up and look out the window for 30 seconds. You could take a sip of water. This isn't a big, dramatic change. It's a tiny pivot, but that tiny pivot keeps your mental engine running clean. It allows you to return to your task with your focus still intact, saving you those 10 minutes of confusion and making your work so much better. That moment when you notice your mind has wandered from your book, instead of feeling frustrated, you can gently, and I mean very gently, say to yourself, I wandered off. Okay, let's come back. And you guide your attention back to the paragraph. You might have to do this 5 times on one page. That's okay. This is not failure. This is a rep. This is a workout. Every single time you gently guide your attention back, you're doing a bicep curl for your focus muscle. You are making it stronger for next time. And that moment with your child, when you feel the buzz and the urge to look, you can choose to leave the phone face down in another room. Or you can put your hand on it to feel the buzz, acknowledge the urge, and then make the conscious decision. This can wait. This story cannot. And you lean in closer. You make your eyes stay on theirs. You ask a question. You give them the full power of your spotlight. And the message you send is the truest one. Right now, you are the most important thing in my world. That tiny choice doesn't just avoid a crack. It actively builds a bridge of connection, making your relationship stronger and filling your own heart in a way a notification never could. This is the real work. It's not about never being distracted. It's about noticing the distraction and choosing to come back. It happens in these small, ordinary moments throughout your day. Every time you choose a window over the phone, the book over the worry, the person over the ping, you are voting for the life you want. You are collecting your attention and investing it where it truly counts. You are not just saving minutes. You are building a life of deeper work, stronger memories, and more meaningful connections, one small, beautiful choice at a time. And you are already starting to do it. Chapter 3, How Your Brain Gets Hijacked. So now we understand the high cost of distraction, how it quietly lowers the quality of everything we do and dims the brightness of our lives. But to really fight back, we need to go on a little adventure. We need to understand the enemy. And the enemy isn't actually your phone. It isn't even the apps themselves. The real battle is happening much closer to home. It's happening right inside your own amazing, powerful, and sometimes tricked brain. This is about how our attention gets hijacked. And to understand that, we have to talk about a tiny, powerful chemical in your brain called dopamine. Now, dopamine isn't bad. It's not some evil thing. In fact, it's absolutely essential. Think of dopamine as your brain's way of giving you a high five. It's the feeling of reward, of pleasure, of, yes, that was good. Let's do that again. Our brains love dopamine, and they are wired to seek out things that release it. For our ancient ancestors, this was a brilliant survival system. Finding a berry bush full of sweet fruit, big dopamine hit. That feels good. So let's remember where that bush is and go back. Spotting a clean source of water? Dopamine. That feels good. So let's stay near this river. This system helped us survive and thrive by rewarding us for finding good things. But here's the crucial part. Our modern world has discovered the cheat code to this ancient system. Our brains are still running that old software, but they're living in a new world. And this new world is filled with supernormal stimuli, things that are way more stimulating than anything nature ever provided. This is where the hijacking begins. App designers and tech companies know all about dopamine. They have teams of incredibly smart people whose entire job is to figure out how to trigger that dopamine release in your brain over and over and over again. They are, in a sense, designing slot machines for your pocket. Let's break down how they do it. Have you ever noticed why you feel that little urge to pull down on your screen to refresh your email or social media feed? It's because you're hoping for something new. And when new things appear, a new like, a new comment, a new message, you get a tiny little dopamine hit. It's a reward for checking. Your brain says, "Oh, something new. Good job checking. Do that again." This is called variable reinforcement. It's the same principle that makes a slot machine so addictive. You don't get a reward every time you pull the lever. You get it randomly, unpredictably, and that unpredictability is key. If you knew you'd get a reward every single time, it would get boring. But because you might get something amazing on the next pull, a funny video, an important message, a bunch of likes, you keep pulling the lever, you keep scrolling. And then there are the endless loops. You finish watching a video on a platform, and what happens? Another one starts playing automatically in 3, 2, 1. You don't even have to make a choice. The path of least resistance is to just keep watching. You open an app just for a minute, and its design pulls you into a stream of content that has no end, no stopping point. There's no natural finish line. The only way out is for you to make a conscious decision to stop. And that is incredibly hard to do when your ancient brain is getting little hits of, "This is good. Keep going." This is why we fall into the endless checking. We check our phone not because we expect something important, but because we might get a reward. We're chasing that tiny feeling of novelty. That's the hook. Our brain's natural, healthy desire for newness and reward has been hijacked. It's being tricked into thinking that checking for a new notification is as important as finding a source of water or food. But here is the most important thing to remember, and I want you to really hear this. This is not a sign of weakness. Feeling hooked is not a character flaw. You are not lazy or undisciplined. You are human. You have a human brain that is responding exactly the way it was designed to respond to rewards. You are simply up against a system that was built by experts to exploit that very design. Knowing this changes everything. It takes the power back. When you feel that urge to check your phone for no reason, you can now pause and say, there it is. That's the dopamine loop. That's my ancient brain looking for a reward. That's not me wanting to check. That's a programmed habit being triggered. That moment of awareness, that space between the urge and the action, is where your power lives. You are not your impulses. You are the one who gets to notice those impulses. Understanding the hijack is the first step in stopping it. You are starting to see the strings, and once you see the strings, you can no longer be the puppet. You can begin to decide which rewards are truly valuable. The deep satisfaction of finished work, the joy of a real conversation, the calm of a quiet mind, and which are just empty tricks designed to keep you hooked. Your brain is powerful, and now you are learning how to be its pilot again. Because knowing how the hijack works is like having a map of the traps in a video game. You can see where they are, and that means you can learn to navigate around them. That urge to check your phone isn't a command you have to obey. It's just a suggestion, a habit loop running on autopilot. And the beautiful thing about habits is that with awareness, we can rewrite them. We can change the program. So let's talk about how we start to do that. It begins with creating a little bit of space, a moment of pause between the trigger and the action. Right now, the loop is tight. See phone dash, feel urge dash, pick up phone dash, scroll. Our job is to stretch out that middle part, to insert a conscious breath between the feeling and the action. For example, when you feel that restless boredom and your hand starts to move toward your pocket, you can literally say to yourself, Stop, just for 3 seconds. In those 3 seconds, take one deep breath. Ask yourself, what do I truly need right now? Do you need information, or are you just avoiding a feeling? That tiny moment of questioning is you taking back control. It's you becoming the watcher of your impulses, not the slave to them. Next, we can start to change our environment to make the right choices easier and the addictive loops harder. This is called friction. Right now, tech designers make everything frictionless. Endless scrolling, automatic play. We can add friction back in on purpose. For instance, if you find yourself constantly opening a particular app without thinking, try moving its icon off your home screen. Put it in a folder on the last page of your phone. That one extra second it takes to find it is often enough for your conscious brain to kick in and ask, wait, what am I doing? Another powerful trick is to log out of the app every time you finish using it. Having to type in your username and password creates just enough friction to make mindless logging in impossible. It forces intention. We can also start to reprogram our own dopamine responses by choosing healthier rewards. Remember, your brain just wants a hit. It doesn't really care where it comes from. You can consciously provide it from sources that actually serve you. Set a timer for 25 minutes of focused work on one task. This is called the Pomodoro technique. And when the timer goes off, give yourself a real, tangible reward. Get up and stretch and truly enjoy the feeling of having made progress. Step outside for 2 minutes of fresh air. Enjoy a sip of a delicious coffee. You are consciously rewarding focus, not distraction. You are teaching your brain. This deep work is what actually feels good. This isn't about declaring war on your phone or on technology. It's about changing the relationship from one of master and servant to one of partners. It's about asking not, what does this app want me to do, but what I want to use this tool for? It's the difference between picking up your phone because you're bored and picking up with a purpose. I will now call my sister for 10 minutes, or I will look up a recipe for dinner, or I will watch one funny video to laugh, and then put it down. You are using the tool. It is no longer using you. This retraining takes time. There will be days you succeed, and days you fall right back into the old loop. That is not failure. That is practice. Every single time you notice a hijack attempt, even if you give into it, you are strengthening your awareness muscle. And that muscle, once strong, becomes your greatest superpower. You are learning to see the strings, and in doing so, you are cutting them one by one. You are not a passive passenger in your own mind. You are the driver, and now you have the map. You know how the hijack works, and that means you have all the power you need to stop it and reclaim the beautiful, focused, and intentional life that is waiting for you. Building on that idea of being the driver, let's talk about what it looks like to actually grip the steering wheel. It starts with recognizing that every single time you resist that automatic pull, you are doing something profound. You are not just avoiding a distraction. You are actively strengthening a new neural pathway in your brain. You are quite literally rewiring yourself, thought by thought, choice by choice. It's like building a new trail through a forest. The old path, the one to grab at your phone, is wide, muddy, and well-trodden. The new path, the one of pausing and choosing, is narrow and grassy at first. But every time you choose to walk the new path, you make it a little clearer, a little easier to take next time. Let's make this practical with a few more small examples. Think about the sound your phone makes. That ding or buzz is a classic trigger, designed to yank your spotlight away. So, take back control of the soundscape. Put your phone on silent mode. Not vibrate, but completely silent. This one change removes a major hook that the outside world uses to hijack your attention. Now, you decide when to check for messages, not your phone. You look when it's good for you, not when it's good for the sender. Another powerful tactic is to name the urge. When you feel that restless need to check, don't just fight it blindly. Acknowledge it kindly. Say to yourself, there's a feeling of boredom, or, hello, urge to procrastinate. By naming it, you separate yourself from it. You realize, I am not this feeling. I am the one noticing this feeling. This simple act of noticing robs the urge of its power. It becomes just a passing cloud in the sky of your mind, not a storm that controls you. And we can extend this beyond our phones. This is about reclaiming your attention in all the little moments that make up a life. For instance, standing in line at a store. The old habit might be to immediately pull out your phone. The new, conscious practice is to just stand there, to notice your breath, to look around and see the world, to be comfortable in your own skin for 30 seconds without any input. It feels strange at first, but that feeling of strangeness is just a feeling of a new habit being born. It's the feeling of you coming back to yourself. This is the beautiful secret. The goal isn't to never be distracted. The goal is to come back. The practice is a return. Your mind will wander 1,000 times. That's what minds do. The victory is in the gentle, patient act of noticing it has wandered and guiding it back, without any criticism or frustration. Every single time you do this, you are the gardener tending your garden, pulling one weed, making a little more space for the flowers you want to grow. You are building a life of intention, piece by piece. It's in the meal where the phone is in another room, and the conversation is rich and full of eye contact. It's in the walk where you notice the color of the sky instead of the screen in your hand. It's in the work project where you lose track of time because you are so deeply engaged. These are not huge, dramatic events. They are quiet moments of reclaiming your own experience. They are the moments where you feel truly alive, present, and in charge of your one precious attention. And that is a feeling far more rewarding than any dopamine hit from a notification. It's the deep, lasting satisfaction of a life lived on purpose. Chapter 4. Becoming aware of your focus. Now that we understand the forces work and pull our attention away, we arrive at the most important step, the foundation upon which everything else is built, and that is awareness. Because you cannot change what you're not aware of. You cannot steer a car if you're not looking at the road, and you cannot reclaim your focus if you do not first understand where it's going right now. This chapter is not about fixing anything yet. It is simply about turning on a light in a dark room so you can see what is actually there without judgment, without criticism, just with curious and kind eyes. Think of your attention like a flashlight in a dark cave. Right now, that flashlight might be swinging wildly, pointing at random things for a few seconds before jumping to the next thing. Our first job is not to point at the right thing, but to first just notice how it is moving, to feel the weight of the flashlight in our hands, and become aware of our own habit of swinging it around. This is a practice of becoming the watcher of your own mind, and it is the first and most powerful step toward real change. So how do we do this? We start with a very simple, gentle exercise. I want you to try this right now as you are listening. For just the next 30 seconds, try to focus on your breath. Just notice the air moving in and out of your body. You don't have to change it, just notice it. Ready? Go ahead. Did you notice something? Perhaps your mind stayed with your breath for a few seconds, and then it wandered. It started thinking about what to make for dinner, or it replayed a conversation from earlier, or it wondered how much longer this exercise would last. That moment, that exact moment when you realize your mind has wandered, is not a failure. That moment is a victory. That moment is awareness waking up. That is the entire goal of this practice, to notice when you've been pulled away. And every time you gently, without any frustration, guide your attention back to your breath, you are doing a single rep for your focus muscle. You are not failing. You are succeeding at the practice of noticing. We can extend this practice of noticing throughout our entire day. It's about becoming a friendly detective of your own habits. For one day, I want you to just observe. Carry a small notebook or use a notes app on your phone, not to scroll, but to jot down every time you catch yourself picking up your phone without a real purpose. Don't get mad at yourself. Just note it down. 10:15 a.m. Picked up phone while waiting for coffee to brew. 2:30 p.m. Open social media after finishing a difficult task. You are not keeping a log of your crimes. You are collecting data with kindness. This data is incredibly powerful because it reveals your personal triggers. What you will likely start to see are patterns. You might notice that you always reach for your phone when you feel a moment of boredom, or when a task feels too hard and you want to escape, or when you are feeling a little lonely. The distraction isn't random. It is almost always a solution your brain is offering for an uncomfortable feeling. It's saying, feeling bored? Here, scroll this. Feeling stressed? Check your email. By becoming aware of the trigger, you can start to address the real need instead of just taking the easy, distracting way out. This awareness also shows you your personal attention thieves. Is it the constant pinging of email? Is it one particular app that you open like a reflex? Is it the habit of keeping your phone next to you while you work, just begging for a glance? You cannot defeat an enemy you haven't named. This process of tracking is how you name them. You are shining your flashlight on the specific things that are pulling your focus away. And in that light, they often already start to lose their power. This might all sound simple, and it is, but simple does not mean easy. It requires patience and a lot of self-compassion. Your mind will wander thousands of times. That is what minds are built to do. The practice is not in stopping the wandering. The practice is in the gentle return. It is in the noticing. Every single time you notice, you are waking up for a moment inside your own life. You are stepping out of the automatic, distracted trance and into the present moment. This awareness is the seed of all change. Before you can build a new path, you must see the old one clearly. By watching where your focus goes without judgment, you are not highlighting your flaws. You are gathering the map you need to finally start heading in the direction you truly want to go. You are learning the landscape of your own mind, and that knowledge is the first and most important tool you have in reclaiming your attention and your life. This practice of noticing is like putting on a pair of glasses for the very first time and suddenly seeing the leaves on the trees with sharp, clear detail. The world of your own mind comes into focus, and you start to see all the tiny moments where your attention subtly shifts away from what you truly value. This isn't about scolding yourself for every glance at your phone. It's about developing a gentle curiosity, like a scientist studying a fascinating new species, the species of your own habits. Let's take this awareness into a very common situation. Sitting down to work. You open your laptop with a clear goal, but then you notice a little thought. I should just quickly check my email first to make sure there's nothing urgent. This seems logical, right? But now, with your new awareness, you can spot the trap. That quick check is rarely quick. It immediately pulls your spotlight onto other people's agendas, derailing your own before you've even started. The practice of awareness allows you to notice that thought, thank your brain for the suggestion, and then consciously choose to say, not right now. My priority is this project for the first hour. The email can wait. This is you using your awareness to protect your focus before it even gets stolen. The same gentle noticing can be applied to your feelings. Often, we reach for distractions to avoid uncomfortable emotions. The next time you feel a wave of boredom or stress or loneliness, instead of immediately numb it with your phone, try something radical. Just sit with it for 60 seconds. Notice where you feel it in your body. Is it a tightness in your chest? A restlessness in your hands? Just breathe into that feeling and name it. This is stress. This is boredom. By shining the light of your awareness on the feeling itself, you take away its power to control you automatically. You realize that the feeling is temporary and that you can handle it without needing to run away. This is how you break the cycle of using distraction as a solution for discomfort. Awareness also allows you to find your personal focus sweet spots. As you pay attention, you might notice that you focus best in the morning, or that you need complete silence for deep work, or that you actually think more creatively with a little background noise. You are collecting data on what works for you, not what a productivity guru says should work. This self-knowledge is priceless. It allows you to schedule your most important tasks for when your focus is naturally strongest, and save less demanding tasks for when your energy dips. Remember, the goal of all this is not to create a perfect, distraction-free life. That is impossible. The goal is to build a resilient focus, a focus that can get pulled away but that knows how to find its way back home. Every time you notice your mind has wandered during a conversation, and you gently guide it back to the person in front of you, you are building resilience. Every time you feel the urge to check a notification but you take a deep breath instead, you are building resilience. You are learning the art of the gentle return. This is the heart of it. You are not trying to stop the waves in the ocean of your mind. You are learning how to surf them. Some waves will be big and knock you off your board. That's okay. The practice is simply to get back on. Each return, each moment of noticing, is a quiet victory. It is you, choosing presence over distraction, choice over impulse, and your real life over a simulated one. And with each choice, you are not just reclaiming your attention, you are reclaiming yourself. Chapter 5. The Power of Doing One Thing at a Time. We spent our time together building awareness, learning to see the strings that pull our attention away. And now we arrive at perhaps the most powerful and practical step of all, the art of doing one thing at a time. In a world that screams at us to do more, faster, and all at once, choosing to do one thing with your full attention is not just a productivity hack. It is a quiet revolution. It is you deciding that the quality of your time and the depth of your experience are more important than the illusion of checking everything off a list all at once. Because let's be honest, have you ever truly multitasked? Think about the last time you tried to write an email while listening to a meeting. You might have been physically present in both places, but your mind was switching back and forth so fast it created an illusion of doing both. But what was the result? The email probably took twice as long to write and might have had a mistake in it. And you likely missed a key point in the meeting and had to ask someone about it later. This constant switching doesn't make us faster. It makes us slower. It doesn't make us powerful. It leaves us feeling drained and exhausted because every single switch uses up a little bit of our precious mental energy. This chapter is about ending the war inside your own mind. It's about calling your attention home and letting it rest on one single, important thing. It's about discovering that the secret to doing more is actually to do less, but to do it with your whole heart and mind. And the best way to start this practice is with a wonderfully simple tool called the Pomodoro Technique. The name might sound fancy, but the idea is beautifully straightforward. You choose one task, just one. Then, you set a timer for 25 minutes. During that time, you do nothing but that single task. You protect that time like a guard protects a treasure. If a thought about something else pops into your head, you gently note it down on a piece of paper to come back to later, and you guide your focus back to your one task. Then, when the timer rings, you stop. You take a full 5-minute break. You stand up, you stretch, you look out the window, you drink a glass of water. You do anything except more work. This break is not a distraction. It is a vital part of the process. It allows your brain to rest and get ready for the next focus session. Why does this work so well? Because it makes focus a game. 25 minutes feels manageable. It's not a huge, scary block of time. It's a short sprint where you know a break is coming. It trains your focus muscle in short, powerful bursts, and over time, you'll find that you can stay in that deep, focused state for longer and longer. You are not trying to build a focused marathon runner on day one. You are just practicing your focus push-ups. Once you get comfortable with these short sprints of focus, you can start to think bigger with a practice called time blocking. This is simply looking at your day ahead of time and deciding, with intention, what your spotlight will shine on and when. Instead of your day controlling you, you design your day. You might block out 9 to 10 in the morning for your most important creative work. You block out 10:30 to 11 for answering emails. You block out your lunch break for actually eating and resting, not for scrolling on your phone. You are essentially making an appointment with your most important tasks. And when it's time for that appointment, you show up fully. You don't cancel on yourself to do something less important. This doesn't mean every minute is scheduled. It means your priorities are given a home in your day, so the trivial things don't take over. All of this starts with one simple question each morning. What is my one priority today? Not your 10 priorities. Your one. If you could only get one thing done, what would make you feel like the day was a success? That is your anchor. That is the thing you will protect above all else. You do that Pomodoro session for your one priority first thing in the morning, before the world has a chance to distract you. By doing that, you win the day before it even really begins. Choosing to do one thing at a time is an act of profound self-respect. It is you saying to your work, you deserve my full attention. It is you saying to the person you are with, you are more important than any notification. It is you saying to yourself, my energy and my peace of mind are valuable, and I will not waste them by splitting myself into a million pieces. This is how you reclaim not just your attention, but your time, your energy, and the quality of everything you do. You are moving from a life of frantic switching to a life of meaningful accomplishment, one single, focused task at a time. Because embracing one thing at a time is about so much more than just a technique. It's about a fundamental shift in your relationship with time itself. Right now, it might feel like time is something that happens to you, a river pulling you along, rushing you from one demand to the next. But when you decide to focus on one thing, you are planting your feet firmly in that river. You are choosing in that moment to be exactly where you are, to do exactly what you are doing. You are no longer being swept away. You are standing still in the current, and it is a feeling of incredible power and calm. This shift starts with a simple but profound act of letting go. You have to let go of the myth that you can do it all at once. You have to make peace with the fact that when you are fully present in one activity, other things will have to wait. This might feel uncomfortable at first. That anxious feeling that you should be doing something else is the old habit of distraction fighting back. It's the voice that says, "But what about that email? What about that other project?" And in that moment, your practice of awareness from the last chapter comes to your rescue. You can notice that anxious voice, thank it for its concern, and then gently reaffirm your choice. Right now, this is what I am doing. That can wait its turn. Let's make this practical for your entire day. It begins first thing in the morning. Before you even check your phone, before the world demands come pouring in, ask yourself that anchoring question. What is the one thing I most want to accomplish today? Let that be your compass. Then, protect the first hour of your workday for that one thing. This is your golden hour. This is when your mind is freshest and your willpower is strongest. Guard this time like a treasure. Let your first Pomodoro session be a gift you give to your most important goal. And what about all those other tasks, the emails and the errands and the smaller to-dos? This is where time blocking becomes your best friend. It's like giving every part of your day a clear job description. Instead of letting emails interrupt you all day long, you give them a home. You might block 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. only for email. During that block, you process your inbox with focus. And when the timer ends, you close it. You are done. You are not an email responder who occasionally does other work. You are a focused achiever who schedules time for communication. You can do the same for other tasks. A block for planning, a block for meetings, a block for creative work. This isn't about restricting your freedom. It's about creating freedom from constant interruption. It's about giving yourself full permission to not think about emails for 2 hours because you know they have their own designated time later. This practice extends beyond work. The power of one thing transforms your personal life. 2. A meal becomes an experience when you just eat, savoring each bite, instead of eating while watching a screen. A walk becomes meditation when you leave your phone behind and notice the feeling of the air and the sounds around you. A conversation becomes a true connection when you put your phone away and let your eyes and your attention rest fully on the person in front of you, making them feel like they're the most important person in the world in that moment. This is the beautiful reward of single tasking. Presence. You are reclaiming the depth of your experiences. You are trading the shallow, frantic buzz of doing everything at once for the rich, deep satisfaction of doing one thing well. You will finish your day not feeling fractured and exhausted from switching gears 1,000 times, but feeling a sense of calm accomplishment, knowing that you gave your full attention to what truly mattered moment by moment. You are not just managing your time, you are elevating it. You are building a life of intention, one single, focused task at a time. Chapter 6. Setting digital boundaries. We've been on a powerful journey together, learning how to notice our distractions and train our focus on one thing at a time. But we have to be realistic. We live in a digital world. Our devices and apps are not going away. So the question becomes, how do we live in this world without letting it control us? How do we use these amazing tools without them using us? This chapter is about that exact balance. It's about moving from being a passenger in your digital life to becoming its pilot. It's about setting simple, strong boundaries so your phone becomes a tool that serves you, not a master that rules you. Think of your digital space, your phone, your tablet, your computer, like your home. You wouldn't let just anyone walk into your home at any time of day or night, making noise and demanding your attention. You have a door. You have locks. You decide who comes in and when. Right now, your digital space might feel like a house with no doors, where notifications and apps barge in whenever they want, shouting for your attention. Setting digital boundaries is about building a door and putting a lock on it. You are simply deciding who and what gets your permission to enter your attention and when. The first and maybe most powerful step is to take control of the noise. Those constant pings and dings are like someone tapping you on the shoulder all day long. It's exhausting. So, let's get ruthless with notifications. Open your phone settings and go through every single app. For each one, ask yourself, does this app really need to interrupt me? The answer for most will be a clear no. Do you need to know the second you get a new email? Or can you check your email calmly 3 times a day? Do you need every social media app announcing every like and comment? Turn them all off, every single one. Leave notifications on only for the truly essential people in your life. Maybe your family, your closest friends. This one act is like installing soundproofing in your mental home. The silence might feel strange at first, but soon you will find it feels like peace. Next, fall in love with the most powerful feature on your phone. Do not disturb. This is not just for when you're sleeping. This is for when you are living. Turn it on during your morning routine to protect your peace. Turn it on during your focused work sessions to guard your attention. Turn it on during dinner with your family to honor your time together. You can even set it to allow calls from your favorite people in case of a real emergency. When Do Not Disturb is on, you're sending a message to the world and, more importantly, to yourself. Right now, I am unavailable for interruptions. I am present here. This isn't being rude. It is being respectful of your own time and the people you're actually with. Now, let's talk about the apps themselves. Be honest. Which apps leave you feeling energized and informed, and which ones leave you feeling empty and drained after you use them? Which ones are tools, and which ones are traps? It's time to curate your home screen like an art gallery, displaying only the tools that truly add value to your life. If there's an app that you know is a pure time waster, that you open without thinking and close 30 minutes later feeling worse, have the courage to delete it. You can always download it again later if you truly miss it, but most likely you won't. Removing the app adds a huge amount of friction, breaking the mindless habit. Your future self will thank you for the hours of life you get back. Finally, design your phone for focus, not for distraction. Move your most distracting apps off your home screen. Tuck them away in a folder on the last page. Make them harder to find. In their place, put the apps that help you live your best life. Your calendar, your notes app, your meditation timer, your podcast app for learning. Change your screen to grayscale mode. Without bright colors, your phone becomes incredibly boring and the addictive pull of apps loses its power. You are reshaping your digital environment to support your goals, not to sabotage them. Setting these boundaries is not about living in a cave. It's about living with intention. It's about choosing connection over consumption. It's about deciding that your real life, your work, your relationships, your quiet moments, is more vibrant and important than anything happening on a screen. You are not missing out. You are tuning in. You are building a digital life that feels light, intentional, and truly yours. You are proving that you can use the tool without becoming the tool. And that is the ultimate freedom. Because setting these boundaries isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice, a series of small choices that, over time, add up to a completely new way of living with your devices. It's about moving from a state of constant reaction to a state of calm, intentional action. It starts with a simple but profound act of creating a physical space for focus. Look around you right now. Is your workspace cluttered? Is your phone sitting right next to you? Screen up, just waiting to light up and steal a glance? Our external environment has a huge impact on our internal state. A cluttered, chaotic space encourages a cluttered, chaotic mind. So let's declutter. Just for a few minutes. Clear your desk. Put away anything that isn't essential for the task at hand. And most importantly, give your phone a new home, a drawer, a bag, another room, anywhere that is out of your immediate line of sight. This physical barrier creates a mental barrier, making it just that little bit easier to choose not to reach for it. Now, Let's take control of your digital workspace on your computer. Those endless browser tabs are like open doors letting distraction pour in. Each one is a potential quick check that can derail you for 20 minutes. Practice the power of closing tabs. When you are done with a web page, close it. If you need it for later, bookmark it in a "to read later" folder. Use website blockers if you need to during your focused work sessions. These are not punishments. They are gifts to your future self, protecting you from your own moment of weakness and preserving your precious attention for what truly matters. This is also about redefining what your phone is for. For so long, it's been our default source of entertainment, our boredom killer, our escape. It's time to give it a new job description. Your phone can be an incredible tool for good if you direct it. It can be a library of audiobooks and podcasts that enrich your mind. It can be a gateway to meditation apps that bring you calm. It can be a camera for capturing beautiful moments in the real world. It can be a map for a new hiking trail. The choice is yours. You get to decide if your phone is primarily a slot machine or a toolbox. By deliberately using it for activities that add value, you slowly reprogram your own habits and associations with it. Finally, remember that these boundaries are not walls to keep life out. They are bridges to a better quality of life. When you put your phone away during dinner, you are building a bridge to deeper connection with your family. When you turn off notifications during your work session, you are building a bridge to a greater sense of accomplishment and pride in your work. When you leave your phone behind on a walk, you are building a bridge back to the natural world and to your own quiet thoughts. Every boundary you set is an act of reclaiming a little piece of your life. It will feel awkward at first. The silence might feel heavy. The urge to check will be strong. But that feeling is just the old habit fighting for its life. With every conscious choice to leave the phone where it is, you are weakening a habit and strengthening a new one. You are building a life where you look up at the world instead of down at a screen, where you are the one who decides how you spend your attention, and where your devices finally, truly become what they were always meant to be, tools that serve you and not the other way around. You are not just setting digital boundaries. You are drawing a line in the sand and declaring that your time, your focus, and your life are worth protecting. Because once you start to quiet the noise and push back against the constant pull for your attention, something amazing starts to happen. You begin to discover pockets of time and mental space you didn't know you had. It's like finally cleaning out a cluttered garage. Suddenly, you can see the floor, you can walk around, and you have room to actually work on a project or just breathe. This new space is your most valuable resource. It's the blank canvas where you can now paint your intentions, your deep work, and your real connections. But nature abhors a vacuum, and so does a mind used to being busy. If we simply remove the distractions without consciously filling that space with something meaningful, the old habits will creep right back in. This is where we move from defense to offense. We are not just protecting our attention. We are now actively directing it toward what matters most. This is the fun part. This is where you get to ask yourself a thrilling question. Now that I have my attention back, what do I truly want to focus on? Start small. That 5 minutes you used to spend scrolling first thing in the morning, what could you do with it instead? You could use it to look out the window and plan your day with intention. You could write down one thing you're grateful for. You could simply enjoy the taste of your coffee without a screen in your hand. You are consciously choosing to feed your mind with calm instead of chaos. You are setting the tone for your entire day. That 15-minute gap between meetings that used to be an automatic phone check, now that can become a moment of reset. Instead of filling it with more digital input, you could close your eyes and take 10 deep breaths. You could stand up and stretch. You could look away from your screen and let your mind wander freely, giving your brilliant subconscious a chance to work on a problem or come up with a new idea. You are using the time to recharge, not to drain yourself further. This is also where your reclaimed focus can breathe new life into your relationships. That time in the evening when you might have been phubbing your loved ones, snubbing them with your phone, is now a protected space for connection. You can decide to leave all devices in another room and play a board game. You can ask a better question than, "How was your day?" and then truly listen to the answer without your hand itching to check for a notification. You are giving the people you love the full power of your spotlight, and that is a gift that strengthens bonds in ways endless scrolling never could. The ultimate goal is to make this conscious direction of your attention your new normal. It's about making focused time your default setting, not a special event. It's about reaching the end of your day and feeling a sense of calm accomplishment, not frantic exhaustion. You'll look back and realize you read more chapters in your book, you had a richer conversation, you did better work, and you felt more present. All because you made a series of small, intentional choices to protect and direct your focus. This journey of reclaiming your attention is, in the end, a journey of reclaiming yourself. It's about remembering that you are the director of your own experience. You get to decide where your precious energy goes. Every time you choose a real moment over a digital one, you are voting for the life you want to live. You are building a life not more clicks and likes, but more depth, meaning, and connection. And that is a life that feels truly worth living. Because creating this space isn't just about moving furniture or buying a new lamp. It's about infusing your environment with your intention. It's about making every object in your space a silent ally in your mission to focus. Think of it as designing a stage for your best performance. The performance of your deep work, your creative thinking, your calm presence. And the best part is, you're the director, the set designer, and the star of this show. Let's start with the concept of an activation ritual. This is a simple action you do to signal to your brain. It is now time to focus. Before you sit down in your dedicated focus zone, take 60 seconds to set the stage. This could be as simple as wiping down your desk, pouring a fresh glass of water, and turning on that specific playlist of calming music. This tiny ritual creates a powerful psychological boundary between the hectic, multitasking world and the deep, focused space you are about to enter. It tells your mind to shift gears, to leave the distractions behind, and to prepare for work that matters. Now, let's think about your senses. Your focus-friendly space should feel good to be in. What do you see when you look up from your screen? Is it a blank wall, or could you put up a piece of art that inspires calm or joy? What do you hear? The gentle hum of a fan can be far less distracting than the unpredictable shouting from a street below. What do you feel? Is your chair comfortable and supportive, allowing you to forget your body and sink into your work? Is the temperature in the room right? These might seem like small details, but they are the threads that weave together to create the tapestry of your concentration. Every small discomfort is a tiny distraction, pulling you out of flow state. By smoothing out these edges, you are making it easier for your mind to stay put. And remember, this space extends beyond your desk. The state of your entire home can affect your ability to focus. Coming out of your focused work session to a living room covered in clutter can instantly shatter that sense of calm. This isn't about being a perfect housekeeper. It's about reducing cognitive load. When you take 10 minutes to tidy the main living area, you are not just cleaning. You are clearing the mental deck for the next part of your day. You are ensuring that your environment continues to support your peace of mind, even when you're not actively working. Most importantly, remember that this is a living, breathing practice. Your needs might change. A setup that worked perfectly last month might feel stale now. That's okay. Check in with yourself. Does this space still feel good? Does it still support my focus? Maybe you need to move your desk to face the window for more natural light. Maybe you need to try a new type of background sound. You have permission to adapt and change your environment to serve your evolving needs. Creating a focus-friendly space is a profound act of self-respect. It is you declaring to yourself and to the world that what you are doing is important enough to be protected. It is you valuing your own attention enough to build a beautiful, quiet fortress for it. With every item you put away, with every notification you silence, with every calming element you introduce, you're not just organizing a room. You are curating a state of mind. You are building conditions where your best thinking, your deepest calm, and your most brilliant ideas can finally emerge and thrive. You are building a home for your attention, and in doing so, you are welcoming yourself home. Think of your focus-friendly space not as a static room, but as a silent partner in your work. Its job is to support you, to hold your intentions gently, and to make the act of concentrating feel natural and effortless. But like any good partnership, it requires a little care and attention to keep it strong. This means that the process of creating this space is ongoing. It's a gentle practice of returning, of tuning your environment to the needs of your mind and heart each day. One of the most powerful ways to deepen this practice is to bring elements of the natural world into your space. The human mind has a deep, innate connection to nature, a phenomenon sometimes called biophilia. When you feel stuck or distracted, even a small glimpse of something growing can be a tonic for your focus. This could be a simple potted plant on your desk, a vase with a single fresh flower, or even a photo of a vast, peaceful landscape. These elements are quiet reminders of a world that operates at a slower, more deliberate pace. They anchor you in the present moment and help quiet the frantic buzz of digital urgency. They whisper, breathe, grow, be here now. Lighting is another quiet ally. The harsh, blue-tone light from overhead fixtures can feel clinical and draining, subconsciously putting your brain on edge. Whenever possible, try to use natural light. Position your desk near a window. If that's not possible, consider using a warmer, softer lamp that casts a gentle glow rather than a bright blast. This softer light can signal to your nervous system that it's time for calm, sustained focus, not frantic activity. In the evening, reducing blue light from your screens, using night mode settings, helps protect your sleep, which is the foundation of all your next day focus. Remember, your focus-friendly space is also defined by what you keep out of it. This is about protecting the sanctuary you built. Make a conscious rule that your focus zone is not a place for entertainment, scrolling, or personal social media. By associating this space only with deep work, reading, or creative projects, you strengthen the mental trigger that tells your brain, when I am here, it is time to focus. If you need to take a break, physically leave the space. Go to another room to check your phone or watch a video. This protects the sacred association of your focus zone and keeps its power strong. Finally, be kind to yourself. There will be days when your beautifully organized desk is buried under papers again. There will be days when noise-canceling headphones aren't enough. This is not a sign that you have failed. It is a sign that you are human. The practice is not to maintain a perfect space forever, but to know how to return to it. It is in the gentle act of clearing off the desk one more time, of putting the phone in the other room again, of taking that one deep breath to reset. This is the practice, the loving return to an environment that supports the person you are trying to become. Your space is more than four walls and a desk. It is the physical manifestation of your commitment to your own attention. By curating it with care, you are sending yourself a powerful message every single day. What I am doing here is important. I am important. And I deserve a space that honors that. This is how you build a world within a world. A place where distraction fades and your deepest, most focused self can finally come out to play, to work, and to create. Chapter 8. Training your mind like a muscle. We build a strong foundation together. We've understood the hijack, become aware of our patterns, set boundaries, and create a space that supports our focus. Now, we come to the most exciting part of the journey, the training, because everything we've learned so far leads to this one powerful truth. Your attention is a muscle, and just like any muscle in your body, it gets stronger with regular, gentle exercise. It doesn't happen overnight. But with consistent practice, you can amaze yourself at how powerful your focus can become. Think about it. You wouldn't expect to walk into a gym for the first time and lift the heaviest weight, would you? You'd start small. You'd maybe lift a light weight a few times, rest, and then do it again. You wouldn't get angry at your muscles for being weak on the first day. You just understand that this is how strength is built. We need to bring that exact same kindness and patience to training our minds. We are not looking for perfection. We are looking for practice. So, let's talk about some simple, powerful exercises for your focus muscle. The first is one we've already started, mindfulness. This is simply the practice of paying attention on purpose to the present moment. And you can do this anywhere, anytime. You don't need to sit on a cushion for an hour. You can start with just 1 minute. Set a timer for 60 seconds and try to focus all your attention on your breathing. Notice the feeling of the air coming in and the air going out. Your mind will wander. That's what minds do. The magic isn't in keeping it still. The magic is in the gentle act of noticing it has wandered and guiding it back to your breath. Every single time you do this, you are doing a rep for your focus muscle. You are literally strengthening the neural pathways in your brain for attention and control. Another incredible exercise is daily journaling. But this isn't about writing a long diary entry. This is a focus attention workout. Try this. Each morning, take just 3 minutes to write down your one most important intention for the day. Today, my priority is to finish that project proposal. By writing it down, you're focusing your spotlight on what truly matters before the day's distractions can pull it away. It's like giving your brain a map for the day. And at the end of the day, take 2 minutes to write down one thing you accomplished and one thing you were grateful for. This practice trains your brain to look for and focus on the positive, meaningful parts of your life, rather than just the problems and distractions. You can even turn your daily life into a fun attention game. This is about finding little opportunities to practice focus in a playful way. For example, the next time you're washing dishes, try to do it with your full attention. Notice the feeling of the warm water on your hands, the scent of the soap, the sound of the plate you're scrubbing. When your mind wanders to your to-do list, just guide it back to the sensations of washing dishes. This turns a boring chore into a powerful meditation. Or try listening to a piece of music and doing nothing else. Don't scroll, don't talk, just listen. See if you can follow one instrument all the way through the song. These are games that strengthen your ability to direct your attention at will. The beautiful thing about this training is that it compounds over time. You might not feel a difference after one session, just like you don't feel stronger after one push-up. But if you do one push-up a day, soon you can do 2, then 5, then 10. It's the same with your mind. That 1 minute of mindfulness, that 3 minutes of journaling, that 2 minutes of focused dishwashing, it all adds up slowly. Without you even realizing it, you'll find it easier to sink into a good book. You'll be more present in conversations. You'll be able to work through a challenging problem without feeling the frantic need to escape. You are not just trying to fix a problem. You are embarking on a lifelong practice of building mental strength. You are becoming the architect of your own mind. Every time you choose to practice, you are investing in a future where you are in control of your attention, where you can direct your spotlight with power and precision onto things that truly light up your life. This is how you move from being distracted to being directed. This is how you build a mind that is not only focused but also clear, calm, and powerfully present for every single moment of your one beautiful life. Because the true power of this training isn't in any single grand gesture. It's in the quiet, consistent commitment to showing up for your own mind, even and especially on the days when it feels difficult. This is where we move from theory to true transformation, where the exercises stop being something you do and start becoming part of who you are. It's about weaving these small practices into the very fabric of your day until they become as natural and essential as brushing your teeth. Let's think about this like building a new road. Right now, the neural pathways for distraction are like a wide, 8-lane superhighway in your brain. It's the default route, the easy, well-paved road your thoughts automatically travel down. The pathways for deep focus might be like a narrow, overgrown footpath. Every time you do a mindfulness exercise, every time you journal your intention, every time you play an attention game, you're not just walking down that footpath. You are paving it. You are widening it. You are adding signs and streetlights. With enough consistent travel, that narrow footpath can become a strong, reliable road. And one day, you'll find that your mind, when given the choice, will actually prefer to take the smooth, calm road of focus instead of the frantic, chaotic highway of distraction. This is why consistency is so much more important than intensity. Doing 1 minute of mindfulness every single day is infinitely more powerful than doing 30 minutes once in a while. It's the daily repetition that does the work, that tells your brain, this is important, keep building this pathway. So, lower the bar. Make it so easy you can't say no. I will just breathe for 1 minute. I will just write one sentence in my journal. On days you feel tired or resistant, just do the tiniest version of the practice. This isn't cheating. This is how you build a habit that lasts a lifetime. You are teaching your brain that this is a non-negotiable part of your day, like a loving commitment to yourself. And just like physical training, You will have days where you feel strong and days where you feel weak. There will be days when your mind feels clear and calm, and days when it feels like a wild monkey that won't sit still. On those wild monkey days, your practice is not a failure. Your practice is simply to notice the chaos with kindness, to say, my mind is very busy today, and to still do your 1 minute of breathing anyway. This is the most powerful rep of all. Showing up for yourself when it's hard. That is how real mental resilience is built. Over time, you'll start to notice the rewards, not just in your ability to focus, but in your overall sense of well-being. You might feel a little less rushed, a little less reactive. You might find yourself pausing before responding in a conversation, truly listening to what the other person is saying. You might discover moments of quiet joy in ordinary things, because you are actually there to experience them. This is the strength of your focus muscle paying dividends in the currency of a richer, more present life. You are not just trying to fix a problem. You are building a skill that will serve you for the rest of your life. You are learning to be the calm, steady captain of your own ship, no matter how stormy the seas around you become. Every rep, every minute of practice is an investment in a future where you are in control of your attention, your time, and your energy. You are building a mind that is not only stronger and sharper, but also more peaceful and resilient. And that is a reward worth training for every single day.